Heading back out in what looks like about 4 or 5 days. It'll probably be Monday or Tuesday at the earliest. But weather today looks like 20, 25, 30 knots. And I'm a 24-foot Coast Guard Zodiac. I got a long, long way to go up that coastline. And let me bring up some of that stuff just before we say goodnight. July, this is the last. Now, I never got the rest of that stuff up, but we'll get it up. Everything goes up on the site at some point. I put up 7,500 pictures. Then I worked on the boat for 6 days. And I'm heading back up the coastline. And I'll just do a quick run through on some of that for everybody. So, we got to do this. And I like to thank everybody that donated. And in the past, it got us this far. And, everybody suffered and everybody struggled. And everybody understands that this is not a game anymore. That this is the only option we got. And we have to do this. This is the Pacific Ocean. Everything is missing and we can't get any acknowledgement. Not only that, but that mountain range got no snow in it. So look, we're going to be going all the way up. And where the boat, you see the little boat in the middle there, I'm not there, I'm down here. I'm down in Johnson Strait, Powell River. Strait of Georgia. So I got to go through it. I got to get the weather good enough to go through the Strait of Georgia, through Johnson Strait, through the Queen Charlotte Strait, right here, Queen Charlotte. And when I get to there, I got to shoot across. I got to shoot across from the top of Vancouver Island to right here. That's Calvert Island right there, and that's Rivers Inlet over right there, but just below the 15. And so once I get across that, then I'm pretty safe. But I can't go up there because of the northwest winds right now are coming down the coastline. And it'll beat the shit out of me. There's no sense doing stuff like that. When the wind changes, I'll have the wind behind me, right? That makes more sense. And so now, it's summertime, the weather's stabilized. I can go up and do the outside of all the west coast. Everything. Of all these archipelagos. There's 26,000 island archipelagos. But what we're going to do is run up and do the outside, all the way up to Alaska border, and then come down the inside, and all the way back home. And so the whole way down, whole way up, is a different anchorage each day. And just, that way you burn the least amount of fuel. So you basically burn fuel slowly all the way up, after you get up to Calvert Island, and then all the way down. So every day you're going to try to catch 2 low tides. So you catch your first low tide, and then you run 20 miles, and you catch your next low tide on another spot. You'll get 2 low tides because you got a lot of daylight. And so that's going to be a long, dragged-out trip by myself. That's the only way we can pull this off. There's no other way to pull it off. I can't raise enough money to bring a crew. And so I'm going to have to suffer it out by myself and live on the friggin' boat again. And I'm sure I'll make I'll make curtains or something so I can sleep in between. Because there's so much daylight, I can't sleep. I have a hard time sleeping with daylight. And that was just a thought off the top of my head at the time. If I does that, I can live with it. But I won't be in port very often. Right? So, because it just takes so much to run back and forth to port all the time. That's a lot of money and time anyway, but fuel is dear, fuel is expensive. You got to run in to get fuel. At the same time you do your laundry. At the same time you can do an update. Hopefully find bandwidth somewhere on the coastline to do some kind of an update. Or phone in. I can phone Kate at the Fukushima Hounds. And other people, of course, and they can reach out with updates. If I can't get anybody on the phone at that particular time. And get back out there. Move up the coastline where the weather's good. We have everything. And we just need your support. Right now we got enough to make it all the way up on fuel. And I feel really good about this. The weather's good. The weather's stabilized. I'm going to wait for perfect wind so I don't get fatigued before I even get there. And have a good trip all the way up in the sense of it's a straight run up. But on the way back, it's going to be all the way back 20-mile jumps. All the way back down the coastline, and so anchor off this boat and take the little Zodiac with the 8 horsepower, because that'll only burn like 2 gallons a day, right? Where this big one will burn 2 tanks a day. That's $100 bills. darting through the islands and getting the pictures, getting that documentation. And we'll put this to bed by doing the West Coast. Because right now, that's their only saving graces. We weren't able to do the West Coast in that 160 days because it was just too rough. Not that we didn't try. Not that we didn't put everything we could into this to pull that off. Not that we didn't create that momentum. And that will sustain us. And get this truth out there that we are talking about the entire coastline. And I'll just throw out a couple of pictures, I suppose, of... because we haven't seen any of these pictures. There's Terry with the little underwater camera. Perfect weather. You can see low tide in there. We're going to head in there. That doesn't help you. But anyway, let's scroll through. Oh yeah, look at the trails up there that day. We're up in the middle of nowhere. Look at these guys. Down low too. Hang on. Yeah, they got some serious issues, those people. Oh yeah, that was... I got to put these pictures up on the website because that was that spot I was telling you about. Hang on. That was that spot. Well, we already covered this anyway. But that was that spot at McNaughton's back door. Hang on one second. I'll show you the picture of that spot, and we'll come back to that. So that was the back door, McNaughton Group. That was right there anyway. You can see the boat. We were anchored in right here where the boat is towed. And right at that entrance right there, and that little, we would cover that whole little section right there. And as you went a couple of 100 feet away from the entrance, because all that water floods between the island, right? So anyway, let's go back and show you those pictures. But that is such a rare picture of the entire coastline. And you're only seeing that one species. I think there might have been two species right there. Right, so let me go back one picture. And see, yeah, there's just a zoom in of it. I'll show you a zoom in. So it's only that one starfish. He's purple and orange. That's the same species. I think there was a couple of leather starfish right there. That's gooseneck barnacles. And you don't see no mussels. Normally the gooseneck barnacles are on the mussels. Oh, let me go back one. Now it was too rough to get in. And you can see the green sea anemone. You can see one algae. Two algae. No, that's green sea anemones. That's baby sea anemones. And that's the cameras Paulette bought us. So all the pictures we've taken, Paulette Audrey's cameras, 3 cameras, and extra batteries. And fantastic. My goodness, we got some use out of that. We got some amazing uses out of those cameras. And that boat, and those motors, and all the equipment, and all the love, and all the well wishes. See, it's just that one species there. Right, there's just a couple of algae there. Hang on, I'll get a wider shot of algae. Right, as you get down closer to the water, there's nothing on the rock. It's just those little nooks and crannies. That's green sea anemones you see in there, young green sea anemones. But what about the other 76 species of sea anemones? That's the only sea anemones we see throughout the entire coastline. We did see some brown, some gray, some white, but they're the same family, the one species. But there used to be 500 of them per cubic meter, especially the white ones. So when you come into low water, you see all these white sea anemones, up to 500. And I'm talking about the whole bay, everywhere you went, every wharf, every finger and every wharf was covered with it. And every shoreline, every rock was covered if it wasn't covered with mussels. But you see, just a couple of 100 feet of these little things here. And Terry was like, Dana, I'm so glad we seen that. He said, because I never seen it myself, and I don't understand what it should look like. He said, all I see is naked rocks everywhere we go. But look at what you're looking at. There's just a couple of those species. There's 3 or 4 of those species. There's 3 algae and 2 species. And those are Clintons. I've only got one picture of adult Clinton in 9 months on the ocean, up to 160 days straight, traveling the entire archipelagos, over 10,000 miles, nautical miles of coastline. And you see these little black sea clintons sometimes. They're about it though. Usually they come in yellow and white and other colors, right? Very and red, very. And I got a picture of a red one time, but there was nothing else around it. When you see all the barnacles are gone off the rocks, these barnacles are so fragile you can scratch them off the rock with your feet, nothing to it. But yeah, that's the entrance right there. All that water, you see the water ripping around there. But anyway, it was just too dangerous to get. We were in a little Zodiac, and Terry was taking pictures. I was taking pictures. And it was 200 feet of something. And the whole trip, that was all we seen the entire, was that 200 strip. We got 750 pictures up already at the website. Okay. That's that archipelagos that we were working into on that day and the other days. There's 300 miles up the coastline. That was a panoramic shot I took. I'll have to use software to clean up some of those pictures in the future, make a panoramic shots for the new studio type scenarios is what I was hoping to get out of it. And you know, a lot of the pictures, I got a lot of pictures up at my website. Oh yeah, this is where, yeah, I put these pictures up. These pictures are up because that's where that eagle was too. In one of these pictures. I don't know, we'll check. We'll check. Meanwhile, as you moved further away from that spot, you found just one or two or three of the purple starfish. And then you found none. And so it was just that one little spot where the island is split in two. And you got to remember, it's open ocean coming in here. But it was still a little bit too rough to be on the absolute outside. We did try, and we documented that. So I'm heading back out on the expedition for life. I mean, we got to get this done with so we can finish the documentary, get it out there, and start promoting it, and start having a conversation about stopping Fukushima. We got to worry about the future later. We got to stop Fukushima. Look, at Chernobyl, it only lasted 10 days, but they sacrificed 1 million people, 600,000 soldiers. Some of these people were out on the roof for 20 seconds. They went home and never went on a nuclear power plant again and died a year, months, weeks, a couple of years, decades even later. But over 600 of the pilots, they all died, every one of them. I'm Dana Durnford, nuclear proctologist. Please support me for this next and final expedition. It's a long, arduous, hard work to do. I need your support. I will beg video after video after video if I got to. Don't think I won't. To raise enough to do this. I'll do what it takes. That's what we've done all along, okay? The only reason we got this far is because I won't stop. I'm just going to go do it anyway. I don't give a fuck anymore. We got to get it done. In that context, right? We got to get this done. And so that's why I do it that way. I just go do it. And then when I'm running low, I beg and beg and beg and keep going that way. And that works. Because soon it'll be over with. And I can finally come to a stop. And hopefully at that point, there will already be a conversation going on. We can contribute to it immensely. Hugs for everybody. I'm Dana Durnford, nuclearproctologist.org. See that documentation at the bottom of the pages. There's a couple of hundred headlines. Do yourself a favor, at least do that much. Hugs, folks.